tight, precise race car steering or something. Oh, morning. Goodness gracious. It appears the Z has an amperage draw, because if this thing sits for a couple days, battery dead. Dang it. Well, anyway, we've got a ton to do, but no one big thing. So we still got some buttoning up to do on the Z to make her a good streeter. Gotta put new brake hoses on. We got them. Too late to get to the Mitty with new ones. Put some of this interior back together, as well as adjust the rear shoes and re-bleed the brakes. That's about it until we do suspension, which we haven't bought, and wheels, which we have bought. 2 sets of. But also the T51, I lowered it more because, well, it looked cooler. But now the suspension is bottoming out constantly on the rear frame rails. We're going to need to address that. Don't know if that's a today thing or not. The wagon, well, it's idling in the background. It's great. It's got 4 flat tires because I put my brand new Panasports on it with some really old slicks. We won't really address that. The van, Toyota. It was a fan favorite at the Mitty. We drove it around a ton. Everybody drove it. It's awesome. Last day of the Mitty, first thing in the morning, it decided I'm out, and it no longer works. My buddy John put way too much, thank you John, time into trying to diag what it was doing. My assumption, since every time it's ever broken down, except for the very first time, was fuel pressure. I'm thinking the new fuel pump that I put in and have messed with again since then is my problem, hopefully, because if not, boy, we got problems. The Dodge van, well, we've replaced it with the new big old Ford, and well, I haven't rehomed it yet, but I need to park it. It takes up a ton of real estate in the backyard, and I need it somewhere out of the way. Now that we've got this Z as a keeper, we would like to have it somewhere parked nice, paved, preferably, in the driveway sometimes when it needs to be. But hey, we need somewhere in the backyard to park things. So I really don't want to do it. It's a lot of work, but I think I'm gonna do a paver pad in the backyard somewhere where we can park cars not on the grass and not on the dirt. So bear with me. I have no idea the direction, the trajectory, or the future of this video. But first, I guess, got to jumpstart this Z and move it. Domage is getting a little brighter. Hit the choke. We're getting there. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Look at that dome. It's getting brighter again. All right. All right. Step 1. Move car. All right. Moved everything around. Can we just talk about how cool this thing looks on those wheels? I mean, dang. Not to mention, those are 14 by 10 negative 12 offset in the rear. And it literally just swallows them right up. Panasports 13 by 7 on really old Hoosier slicks. I found these locally, and it's funny because I've been looking for 13-inch Panasports for a long time, but ever since we got the Datsuns, I had not been even getting on Marketplace because, listen, we're booked. We are full projects, so didn't need the distractions of looking for more. But she was looking for some wheels local, and I got on Marketplace, and like the third listing, 6 Panasports. So pretty stoked on that purchase. So get to work on this old drill though. Well, to get to the Mitty, we did some, you know, mixing and matching of whatever we had around the house. This one's actually great. This is a DOT braided stainless line that I had for, pretty sure this is the rear of an A86. But, got all these new rubber hoses that are specifically for this chassis. So, yes, we'll go around, throw those in. We bought steering rack bushings for this car. We should probably get those installed since it's already up in the air. And then adjust the rear shoes. We should have some brakes. Magic. And we're done. Nope. Dang it. Hey y'all. Anywho, so on the rear of the Z, the e-brake, when it is actuated, moves this little arm, which is supposed to self-adjust the adjuster wheel. Well, this car does not have a functioning e-brake, so we are manually adjusting the adjuster wheel because, well, I don't think the rear brakes were really doing jack diddly. So hopefully we'll adjust those out till they rub on the drums as they pass, and once we get the new lines on and everything rebled, we'll actually have some rear brakes on this car, and maybe the pedal will not go to the floor. Neat little factoid for those of you who may not know, the early Z's like this, the rear drums are actually aluminum. Nissan was serious about performance, so that's pretty cool. Really lightens up the unsprung weight and rotational mass, so both makes the suspension work better and frees up horsepowers, simultaneously being more efficient at cooling. So pretty cool. Honestly, I hate drum brakes, but I would say this drum setup with its internal parking brake and aluminum drum is probably lighter than a disc brake setup. So one of the things that really hurts drums is weight, and well, they really cut it out on this one. So neat little thing that they did on these early Z's. I don't know why I felt like telling you that, but hey, now you know. Or you already knew, and we just wasted a minute. But it was a minute together. Alrighty. Brake lines are dead, and brakes are blid. Kind of feels like I want to adjust the push rod to the master. Pedal travels a little longer than I want, but the brakes are definitely working much better than they were. So, next step, probably jack the car up higher. This is extremely low still. But we're going to get down here and do our steering rack bushings because, well, I don't think they've ever been done. This car is pretty old. So, they kind of, well, I can't move my hand, but they don't exist. So, 4 bolts, a little bit of cussing, should be able to knock it out, no problem. Hush! Rude. Presumably, this is the right part, so we'll just throw them on there and have tight, precise race car steering or something. Let's see what color they are. Probably red, you know? Maybe they're black. She didn't get racing red. Guess it's just gonna be a street car. Dang it. So, let's see what it takes to knock those out. So the only tools I brought down here with me are a 14 socket and a 12 socket and my electric ratchet. They're 12s. So, that's tightening. Yeah! They're through bolts with a nut on top. How inconsiderate. Thanks a lot, Nissan. What about the rear one? Yep, that's a through bolt too. Well, you see, on modern cars, usually there's a welded on nut. It's captured, so you don't have to bring more than one tool down. Guess they hadn't figured it out yet in 72. Oh, beautiful day. I even cut the grass this morning. I've been letting the backyard ride for a while. It was getting pretty bad. Oh yeah. Probably should have hit these with WD-40 or PB Blaster, but you know, a little bit of manual labor is fine. Nope, WD-40 for sure. Hello? Hello? Man, this thing's got a lot of spiders in it. Or old spiders. This thing's had a lot of spiders in it, maybe. I don't even see this bolt. Hello? I think this one's been replaced with something larger. What are you? Dirt in my eye. Maybe it was just dirty. That's fine. Whoever jacked this car up must really hate me. Don't forget to PB Blast or WD-40 your hardware. This sucks. We still haven't cussed yet though, so that's pretty cool. So, what do we got here? Still got the bolt in that one. Come on, little feller. Ain't got time for your nonsense. Diesel! What even is this? I don't get it. Okay.
Ah, yes, it's actually a jam nut. And one captured nut. Amazing.
Better. Okay. Now, I would assume these are not symmetrical, so rather than look at the directions, we're just gonna see if we can't figure them out on our own. Okay. Now, in a pinch or as a track fix, that'll last probably the rest of the time you have your car. Piece of radiator hose, maybe 2 pieces of radiator hose. It'll do this job pretty freaking well. I've done it several times in the past, and sometimes as a permanent solution. So, you know, if you've got a vehicle that you can't really get them for anymore, or you have just some worn out ones and you need to get a fix for them at the track, or just in general, radiator hose. Even these urethane ones, these are sometimes a little hard and kind of oily, and they don't grip the rack very well, and it'll still allow it to slide side to side. So radiator hose, it does the trick. These what brand is this? Energy suspension ones. They're actually labeled. It says lower and upper, and they're pretty obvious which side's driver and passenger. So no tricks here. We'll just get it back together real quick. Be done. The Z's actually registered now, so that takes the sketchiness out of driving her down to the gas station, throwing some gas in it. This thing was real low on gas. The gas gauge works. Pumped about that. So put $25 in, 7.5 gallons. Just a touch over half tank. So headed home. Gonna jab the brakes a few times really hard. See what happens. I don't think we've got any heat in them. They all still look really barely used since coming back on the road. So we'll see how she does. Brakes feel great. So the tires are still rectangles. So we'll have to see if some of the ride harshness and weird vibrations and noises go away when we have, you know, round ones on the car. So guess one other thing that needs adjustment and addressing, man, how do you get these off, is these headlights. I'm assuming the bulbs are actually fine, but they are very, very dim, which leads me to believe more than likely just the grounds need a little bit of attention. But well, I might just give up on this plan anyway. I don't even know how to take these stupid headlights out. Really don't want to have to take the whole headlight bezel doodad off, but I don't know how you're supposed to get to the other hardware unless it's just these two, so we'll find out. Yeah, I'm sure several of you knew this, but the hardware you can get to out there, that's just for adjusting the bulbs. We could come back here, I guess. This rusty and crusty stuff. Try to garner access to the bulbs. I think in order to replace the bulb, you'd have to take this entire headlight shroud off. And well, that's bolted to the fender and the inner fender and the lower valence. And boy, that looks like a headache to have to replace. So yeah, no, until I'm ready to cut most of that hardware out, we're not getting that headlight out. So moving on farther downstream, I found everything goes to this plug for the headlight. So these look kind of crunchy. Hopefully we'll throw some WD-40 in the socket, jiggle it in and out a little bit, clean up the connections, and hope for the best, because otherwise we're driving by candlestick in this thing, and it's just gonna have to be that way. Nope, we're gonna revisit the headlights at a later date, because we got this beautiful sunshiny, it's kind of hot day. I can do that in the dark with lights. Fiddle with that. Don't need, let's not waste the day on that. Semantics. Who needs headlights? Well, Toyota had to go rescue it from the mother-in-law's house yesterday. It's home now. But anywho, she's in timeout because she stopped running. We're gonna move the trailer though, up out of the way, and maybe try to make some space back here in the penalty box for the Dodge van. Should be pretty easy. I don't actually know if dimensionally it'll fit here, but you know, what's the worst that could happen? Yep, wasted time. Car purgatory is getting a little deep. Still got the other Datsun. Don't have anywhere to put that one either. And I've got a 190E at somebody else's house. Too much stuff. Guess we'll slide the trailer back in its hole, assuming it's still wide enough. But, you know, I wonder if we should get that off first. Or do we assume we want to work on it on the trailer? Or do we assume it takes up way too much space elsewhere, so we leave it on the trailer so we don't have another parking space? That's the one. Yep. Not sure if I actually have the energy or motivation to do this, but kind of want to go buy some pavers. Hit the old square here so I can park back here. The dog running already tears it up and tracks dirt in, so why not have, you know, kind of a neater place to have him walk up, not to mention stop ruining grass by parking cars over here for an extended period of time, and give him somewhere kind of sort of protected. Talk about biting off more than you can chew. Oh yeah. Pallet of pavers. So I guess we got to move the old Datsun and well, try to tear up and level this corner so we can get these pavers out of the bed of the truck. What a stupid idea. Bit of a late start today. Definitely bit off more than I can chew with this project. Turns out I'm not a brick mason, stonemason, landscaper, I don't know. Anywho, Got to that point yesterday. Worn out. And, well, looks like we might get rain today, so we might get cut short today, but the plan, get the other 200 of these pavers down here on the ground utilized. And then I guess we'll probably try to go through and individually level them a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Expensive. Anyway, parking pad is a go. Would you believe we're not even close to done? Yep. Day 3 of our parking pad here. Yesterday, well, had plenty of time. Just didn't want to do it. Met up with a old elementary school friend for lunch, and that turned into never returning back to work. And, well, threw a couple more down when I got home from dinner last night. But no, we are not done. Looking like this. You might be able to tell it's still pretty wavy. We're definitely going to have to level some out. Today we did get some rain, so I don't know how it's going to go, but I guess the goal is to get the rest of these stupid things out of the bed of my truck and, well, park on it. So I did try to keep it downhill from the house. We're going to line the edge there with, I don't even know, pebbles, little rocks that look kind of nice. Should work for parking, and, you know, be a little nicer if I do need to jack a car up back here and get up under it, or pull some parts off of it, or, you know, make it run. At least not have to have it in the driveway. So guess we'll try another day to try to finish this up. Let's see. As you can probably imagine, it does not look good. We did a terrible job. And, well, I have a newfound respect for masons. You know, it's fine, though, because we're just out here with the old steamroller trying to push them down. And, well, it's a darn mess. It rained more while we were out here working, so gonna hit the house. Oh, we hit the house. Whee! Anyway, rained more while we were out here. We got some more mud. The mud really did not help. So, we'll see how they settle over time. At least, if nothing else, we can still park on them. I thought it'd be kind of a nice little extension of the patio, you know? A little living space, if you will. Well, it's not. Go figure. Whee! Slams into the other Datsun. Preferably not. Anyway. Hey. Sorry about the content. Thanks for riding along with me, though.